Hey guys, and welcome to the Four Corners Podcast. My name is Colin.
Scott.
Zach.
Steven.
We're going to talk about baseball today, but first we got to get through all our stuff, so do your thing.
We gotta get through all of our stuff. Alright. Good job.
Oh, this will be a quick one because we're doing a double upload today, so a lot of this will be on the second one. We just want to kind of keep this one easy to start this one off. So, first one up is a shout out to Tony Vela and VelaCards.com, and you can find Tony Vela also on Twitter at VelaCards as well. He is having a 15% off of any size, any order for Raw Deal Super Show, and I would check with him, but I believe that also includes his autograph cards. Autograph cards of like CM Punk, Becky Lynch, Vince McMahon.
Becky, you say?
Becky Lynch, yes.
Alright.
Pretty deep selection. Check the site out at VelaCards.com.
I actually just put an order in last Tuesday. Or actually, I'm sorry, on Friday. Friday,
Nice.
I apologize.
Nice. And he will appreciate it because Tony wants money. So.
Don't we all?
We love you, Tony. Thank you for everything you have done. You have been very helpful. So, Colin, we've got baseball today to talk about.
We do. If you haven't noticed our jerseys, he's
Red
got
Sox?
not these two lamos.
I got nothing.
I'm doing Cubs because, Cubs are awesome. Yes, baseball. I love baseball. It's baseball time. It doesn't look like baseball time outside.
We're having a fucking blizzard right now.
So, first off,
Wasn't opening day Thursday?
yes.
And Ian Happ of my fantasy team, first pitch, first home run, it was beautiful.
So awesome.
I was happy, but it's on his phone.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
So it makes me slightly sad.
Hey, we all get lucky every once in a while.
I would also like
know?
to thank you for Chris Sale, too. That.
Thank you for Strasburg.
Oh, and Dozier, too, because he has 19 today for fantasy.
Woo! Damn it.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yes, guys,
Happy
happy
Easter.
Easter. Happy Easter.
We're recording this on Easter, and happy April Fool's Day, my favorite holiday. It just happened to fall on Easter, so nobody...
Because you're a fool every day.
Yes.
And the only joke is that Cubs jersey.
Oh, really?
Wow.
We've won a championship more recently.
They have more.
I know. We can't get that lucky.
That helps when you have talent.
Hey, we have decent talent. We're 2
I'm kidding. You guys do have a good team.
We're 2 and 2. We got shut out by the fucking Marlins. The Marlins.
Hold on.
You don't have to bring that up. First thing.
I want to say something.
Wait, hang on. We were doing so good.
No.
And before we were doing it, it's like, this is going to get brought up. What does it do? Was it like 2 minutes into the podcast? 2 minutes, and it's already brought up.
This is
Damn it, Colin.
the people out there in video land need to know this information.
Wait, hang on. How do we know they don't already know?
Well, they probably do. And you know what? I don't wish bad, injuries or anything on the Yankees players.
Hey,
I
have them.
I said I don't wish injury on the Yankees players. I do wish that the MLB investigates Derek Cheater for gift wrapping Stanton to the Yankees. He's still coming up clutch, even though he's not in the uniform.
Hang on. It's Cheater.
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 I'm
not going to win this argument.
You tell me, well, look at the jersey. You really think you're going to win it?
Biased.
Biased. You know what? I have no dog in this fight, but I gotta agree. I thought that was kind
He
of
hands a top player. And this is not just like some...
Actually, I'm pretty sure it was their only star player right now.
It is their only star player.
Well,
It was.
Well, Ozuna was good. He was a really good player.
Okay.
And Didi Gordon, yeah.
Didi Gordon.
D. Gordon is good. He's actually a great player.
Okay.
But all three of those guys are gone.
The Marlins don't have a team, and yet
No,
they got beat by them 6-0.
They're an expansion team now, and I don't know what the fuck happened when the Cubs played the Marlins.
We split the series.
Yeah.
We went 2-2.
You're playing them later today, aren't you?
No,
They
we
just
already
got shut
lost.
out by them.
We got shut out.
Yeah,
by
we
them.
got shut out.
We got fucking shut
6-0.
By the Marlins?
Yes, because Jose Quinta doesn't know how to fucking pitch a baseball.
Quintana.
Who gives a fuck what his name is? He sucks.
Well,
Trade him back.
this is
Why
first.
thought you could have that shit?
Hold on. It's his first start. Just relax.
It's not his first. How many years has he been in the league?
It's for the new season.
I
Who
know.
gives a shit?
To be fair, he was traded.
He's a professional, damn it.
He was traded mid-season. So,
Yes.
Traded mid-season,
Oh,
so he's had plenty of time.
you.
He's had plenty of time. Fuck him.
Okay.
but the Red Sox are off to a good start.
Fuck off.
I believe we're 3-1 right now.
3-1. You're a Cubs fan too. Settle down.
Just chill out, man. It's early. We have 180 games to go. Relax.
Actually,
It's
less than that.
176. My bad.
It's a 162 game season, so it's 100.
Yeah, which, okay, by the way, I want to bring up something in baseball, by the way.
You don't know baseball. Sit on.
I was going to contribute
That's what the
to
notes are
this.
for.
Oh,
Exactly, see,
there's
thank you.
notes. He had to write down where teams were.
Exactly, duh. God. But, like, so, hang on, I have a
It
question.
said AL East, Boston, and New York.
God.
You okay?
Excuse me while I die.
We'll be looking for a new fourth quarter in this podcast now since I have killed Scott.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway.
It's not really saying that.
Yes, it does. It's right there.
I'm adorable. But
I can't wait to get to
hang on.
hockey and basketball where he knows nothing
He's going to have a PowerPoint.
For NHL, yes.
So anyway,
Basketball, I'll be better.
yeah.
But I have a question for you three.
Okay.
So, up until I believe last year or 2 years ago, the actual All-Star game for the MLB actually meant something, and now
Yes.
it doesn't. Why did that get changed?
Because the commissioner's an asshole.
I'm actually sad because I thought that was a really cool concept to have it actually determine.
It actually
I-
meant something.
It was half and half. I liked it until it affected the Cubs, and I didn't like it as much.
Well,
But
the
that's the
NL
way
would
that's the
never
way it
win.
works. If the NL would have won that and we'd have had home field advantage, that'd have been a different story. But I
And
mean,
that only happened once in like 5 years.
it was the only one that meant anything. I mean, the NFL,
Doesn't mean anything.
it's in between.
But I mean, you
It's
can
right
understand
after
like where that
playoffs.
actually meant something, you know, like because the way for those who don't know if whoever won the All-Star game between the AL and the NL, it was a tiebreaker on who got home field advantage in the World Series.
It wasn't even a tiebreaker. It was literally if
what
the
happened.
AL
Oh, I thought it was
won.
different seeds.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was
Oh.
huge.
Yeah.
If your conference won,
You got home field advantage.
It
You
was
made the World
huge.
Series.
Okay, that's
Yep,
what I thought.
but now that's off the table.
There's 5 All-Star games. There's the Pro Bowl and the NFL. That means dick. The MLB has their All-Star game. That used to mean something. The NBA has their All-Star game, means nothing. The NHL has theirs, means nothing. NASCAR has theirs. That doesn't mean anything points-wise, but the winner gets $1 million. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
that means quite a bit.
I
So-
will say on the NBA one though, it's more of entertainment.
Yeah.
They just come out and say the first half is pretty much all show. There's a bunch of trick plays, people jacking threes from like midcourt. They kind of get serious in the second half, but you're trying to avoid injury.
Yeah.
And I get it.
It's the same thing in hockey.
Yeah,
Hockey-
you're trying to go out
hockey-
there and put on a show.
Well, and
And-
from what I was told, apparently the whole reason why was because I think it was like 1 year, the All-Star game lasted like I think it was like 6 hours, and like they were having to call pitchers in from because they couldn't get in
Or
because
baseball.
yeah, baseball.
I
Sorry.
was like, Jesus Christ, the basketball one lasted
No,
6 hours? What
no,
the fuck
but
were they
like,
doing?
well,
That's
because
gonna be
like
WrestleMania.
usually, well,
Vince is going to be calling up TNA talent.
well, it's
Guys, we're 9 hours deep.
well, it's because like that you'd only pitch like 3 innings and then you go.
I
You would
think,
like go home.
I think now it's an inning a pitcher.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
I haven't watched the All-Star. The only All-Star game I watch is the NASCAR one anyways.
Okay.
I can tell you when I watched the All-Star game last year, I was watching with like just grimace anytime somebody from the Red Sox.
Did something?
I was
Please
like,
don't get hurt.
I was like, just swing and then go. Just, don't even try to hit it. It's fine. Just get off the fucking plate.
I mean, I enjoy the home run derby, but that's just
Oh
me.
yeah. Yeah.
That's always fun,
But
especially back in the day.
the home
when
run
it was
derby-
steroid era.
There's a nice like little caveat to that home run derby. That does screw up players' swings the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
You will see. I believe Aaron Judge was affected by that last year. He was off to that phenomenal hot streak. He was smacking everything out of the park. Does the home run derby?
He won it last year, didn't he?
I think he did.
I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
I believe he did. I'm
I
not
didn't
sure.
think we were going to get on All-Star topics, so.
But he goes and knocks a few out. But after the All-Star break, there was a small period where he was struggling
Yeah.
to get readjusted.
Because he was changing the swing for the home run derby. Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing, and it does affect
Well, I
players.
mean, also the game has changed immensely since. I mean, I don't know, like I don't watch baseball as much as you guys do. I used to play it as a kid, and I grew up essentially in the steroid era with McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, and all
Well,
that.
Sosa's not been confirmed. That's more hearsay.
Why did he change his identity?
I don't know, but I'm just.
Anyway, well, I mean, you know,
Guys,
no, like,
it's
but you know what I'm
so
saying
deep.
though. But you know, like, you know where I'm going with it is like that was the era I grew up in,
Right.
and you know, I mean that was just me. But now it's.
I really enjoy watching it. I know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I like going to games. Don't get me wrong, and I still like playing it when I can if my knee holds up. But I mean, other than that,
I didn't know you needed to have a hold up knee for T-ball.
shut up.
Don't they let you take your base?
No.
I don't know. I haven't watched one before.
Anyway.
I play adult baseball, so.
He's at the thing. It looks so cute because they're telling him, "Swing now, Stevie."
I was a
Take your base,
beast
buddy.
baseball.
You hit it.
You get a Sunday after the game.
Thank you.
Oh,
But-
man.
So, I think we should probably get into the. Let's pick. Let's do our way too early projections and predictions for.
Not like we do with everything.
Yeah, who's going to win the division,
Okay.
Okay.
the playoffs, and then the World Series. And we might be completely wrong
Oh, we're
because
gonna be
somebody might go down today, tomorrow.
I.e., going back to the
5 months from now.
back to the tournament podcast. But
Yeah, we're really sorry. The tournament did not go how we said it should.
Okay, let's be
Anyway.
realistic. Did anybody really think Loyola was going to make it to the Final Four?
No.
They put on a show against Michigan until the very end.
I
Like,
was
the last-
hoping that they were going to knock off Michigan.
But no. Come on,
But-
Villanova.
But anyway,
Since they had to knock
that's
off Kansas.
that's a talk for a different one.
Yeah.
Back on the.
We're sorry.
Happens.
Kind of.
It happens.
Should listen to me. I'm just kidding. I wasn't
okay.
Really, TCU's going to win it all?
Anyway,
I didn't say
so,
TCU was going to win it all. I said they get to the Final Four, and I was wrong.
Colin, who? Do you want to do NL or AL first?
Let's do it now.
Of course, because you want to pick the Cubs.
It's because they're going to win it all.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, go ahead, Colin.
What do you got?
Jesus Christ.
If you need help, I did write down the divisions,
No, I've
names,
got,
and everything.
I've got all my information on the app.
Oh, you've got an app.
I have an app
Oh,
for
so
that.
professional.
I do have an app for baseball.
We
And
all have. Well, most of us have.
some of us don't.
I have the fantasy
you
app.
don't.
I don't.
Well,
I have
Bleacher-
ESPN.
I have Bleacher Report.
Oh, love that too.
Nah.
Name dropping.
I'm gonna say the Central's gonna.
I mean, let's start in the East. Let's make.
The NL. The
Yeah, we'll
NL
start in
East.
the East. We'll go around the table and we'll say who we think is going to win that division.
Who's not gonna win the East? It's gonna be the Miami Marlins. Is not gonna win the East.
Yeah, it's their first year in baseball as an expansion team, and
Hey, in hockey, Las Vegas won
Yeah, I
their.
was gonna say,
won
they
their
got it.
they're doing.
they
doing
won
work.
their division in their first year.
They're doing
But we'll
work.
get to hockey in the
Eventually.
couple months. I mean, Washington's undefeated. They're 2-0. Obviously, this is way too early in the season.
Yeah, this is way too early.
Braves have looked good, but they've not been looking good the past couple of years. So
They haven't looked good since 1997.
That's when you start. That's the last time you watched baseball.
That's also the last time Steve watched a full game.
I think Washington's probably going to take it. They've been really good the past couple of years. I think they're going to keep holding on to that. So I don't think that'll be a problem.
To go on with that, they did get Adam Eaton back.
Yep.
And it looks like he's not missed a beat since he tore his MCL, I believe, or his ACL.
Yeah.
He tore one of the big ones, but looks
Yeah.
great. They've got a stacked lineup.
What are you doing?
Comparing notes that you don't have.
Hey, I noticed you have those notes that I don't have. Thanks, buddy. I'll put that in my writing.
And Steven, who is your dubious pick to win?
I actually went with
He picked
Washington as
Philly.
well.
He picks Philly.
Steven's going to start these off that way he doesn't copy your answers.
No, I mean like Strasburg's coming back, obviously, and then Ryan Zimmerman's still been really good. I'll admit, like I don't follow it as closely as you do, but I do recognize some names.
I'm shocked you didn't recognize Strasburg. He's only a big name.
Because I just picked him up on fantasy league.
I traded him Strasburg for sale last night.
Oh, I knew I had it.
And Miguel Cabrera.
I knew I had to veto a trade. That's the one I was.
Sorry,
gonna-
went through.
I'm just kidding. I don't want it anymore. I don't give a
Anyway,
fuck.
Zach, who do you
You
got?
can't veto trades in there.
So you said the Nationals? Okay.
I've got the Nationals as well.
Look at that. I feel smart.
Just because their pitching staff is very, very, very good. The first game of the season, 10 strikeouts from Scherzer.
Wait, did Scherzer pitch game one?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the ace.
I
Scherzer.
thought their game got pushed back.
Well, it did. Well, it was Friday, but he still struck out 10 people.
Is it Shazier?
No,
Scherzer.
Scherzer.
You'll remember the name when you play Jessica in fantasy.
He is a monster.
She's not even doing the
That was and it was a straight
That's
10
right.
strikeout game. It's going to be a normal game for him.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
So
Yeah, actually.
Scott?
It's going to be a clean sweep. I got the Nationals.
Cool.
And for all the reasons everybody said, you've got an elite pitching staff. You've got people that can hit it out of the park. Bryce Harper, Adam Eaton.
Bryce Harper will be okay if he keeps his ego in check because he's got a really bad ego.
I mean, it comes kind of with being in sports. You're going to get guys that have the diva mentality.
Yeah,
So
well, true. But you just gotta hope to God that he doesn't have a slump. Because if he has a slump, I don't know how the Nationals are gonna do.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, like offensively.
Yeah.
Because you can tell when you get in his head, he shuts way the fuck down. It's awful.
By the way, the relief pitcher for the Cubs, he pitched like 6 or 7 innings the other night when they went 17 fucking innings.
yeah, that a marathon.
17 innings. Holy shit, they played 2 games.
Yeah,
It was
basically.
and he pitched 7 by himself, and he's a relief pitcher. They usually only go like 2 innings.
Have anybody else ready?
They're like
They weren't prepared for a doubleheader.
They weren't expecting to play more than 7 innings and then just having to play closer for the last 2 because they were playing the fucking Marlins, and we still lost.
That was today, I thought.
No, we've lost twice now.
Okay.
We split the series.
Okay. I still don't understand how they've won.
Yeah.
Don't know why Cubs. Why do you hate us? You gave us the title, and now fuck Cubs.
Okay, so now we're into the Central.
Are we doing Central
Are we?
or do we
I
want to do
thought
that last?
We're saving that for last.
We'll save
Okay,
the
well, let's
Central
go to
for
the West.
See,
then.
I wanted-
Wait. Are we also going to pick the wild cards as well?
If you have a wild card that comes from one of those divisions, then yes, please speak up and let us know.
Oh, okay, then I...
We'll go back if you've got a.
Well, my wild card for the NL East was going to be the Marlins, actually.
Ooh, I don't think I would.
Why do you pay?
Like I said,
Should,
I don't know.
we should have included somebody else on this podcast.
You never know.
Steven,
What?
how?
This is a fluke. The Cubs aren't this bad.
You got shut on.
I know we did. That happens.
I've got the Cubs winning the Central. What are you talking
Well,
about?
You have the Marlins as a what? Do you honestly have that?
Yes, he does. It's right there.
Steven, can we play fantasy baseball for money?
Nope.
I'll even pay your admission.
You're gonna get all of it back.
I want him in the league, so
Oh, yeah.
I can tell. Just draft all those Marlins players. What's left of them?
Take all 5 of them.
Yeah,
that
The
are
ones
relevant.
that Derek Cheater hasn't shipped out.
Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm just kind of
That-
pulling it. But anyway,
They're
I just
gonna
didn't
have-
know how we were doing it.
They're gonna have a team next year. It's gonna be sent to another fucking state.
It's going to be an auction.
They're losing their fans. They don't have any fans anymore. I have 2 coming out of the West.
Out of the
I
West.
almost
As do
had
I.
3. I almost
As do
had
I.
3.
That is a very tough division.
Yeah,
I
I
have-
got 2 coming out of the
I have
West.
San Francisco winning it.
Well, that's bold.
Yeah, I have San Francisco winning it.
Who's
I know it's a little bold. Mine
Did
was
they keep McCutcheon?
Yes, they
Yes,
did.
it is.
That's okay. That's what I thought. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Okay.
I was
They got
debating.
McCutcheon and they lost Bumgarner.
I was
Wow.
debating.
But he's still on the roster, so he'll come
Yeah.
back.
Yes, he is, Colin. Yes,
Thank you, Colin.
he is.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
You can offer a trade. Should have asked for Bumgarner. He's on the DL. He's right and ready. He doesn't have any points. You can offer him cheap.
Preserved.
Um,
Asshole.
What's salty this morning?
To those of you who don't know why I'm pissed off at him,
Because he's a bitch.
we're doing the fantasy baseball draft, and it comes up to my turn, and I ask, Colin, do we have a DL spot in the league? Now, I understand that I should have probably looked beforehand. That would have been what a smart fantasy player does.
But you didn't.
But I did because I was going off of Colin's word in the draft, and I asked Colin on my turn, please tell me the truth. Do we have a DL spot in the league? I don't think so. So I picked somebody else. And I could have had Bumgarner at ridiculously good value because I think he fell to like the 14th.
I got auto drafted, so I don't know. I just got him.
He got auto drafted you because you picked after me in the draft.
Oh, okay.
And my decision, and I asked our commissioner, Commissioner Goodell,
Was there some deflategate going on?
No, there was not.
on if it was okay to draft Bumgarner if there was a DL spot I could hide him on. And Colin's like, I don't think there is. And then after the draft, Colin's like, oh, well, looky here, there's a 2 DL spots. You piece of shit.
There wasn't 1, there was 2. I didn't realize it. I was just like, okay.
Well, that's partially on me, but you're still a piece of shit.
That's payback for not finding me love, bitch.
I don't know which one hurts more.
The fantasy thing. 'Cause
Oh, fuck
it
you.
affects me.
You're such a bitch. I hate you.
I love you.
See, I had a. Anyway.
It was a fucking circle.
Hey, it's a circle.
Here's a circle. Okay, so I was flipping between either the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers. Now the Dodgers because they've been there so many fucking years.
And they have probably one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yes.
Yes.
Clayton Kershaw.
But they didn't. I mean, they didn't start off out. They're 1-2. But then again, Cubs didn't start off out, and I plan on them going on.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. I'm gonna lean towards the Dodgers. Arizona might get it as well. They might be a second wild card, but the NL Central is still pretty freaking strong too. So, you never know.
It very well could produce 3.
Yeah, I could see it's always possible.
Because the Rockies got in last year.
Yep, and they're looking good too.
Rockies have looked good the past couple of years, actually. Remember that year they made it to the World Series?
I'm gonna pretend like I don't know because I don't think you know.
Well, I know they got there because they were a wild card. They got to the World Series, but I think they lost to the Royals or something.
Was that in the 2 years you watched?
Yes. Yes.
Now, keep in mind, I don't know that you own MLB 18, but I'm sure if you did, that's how they would get there.
I don't own it. I don't own a PS4, so no. I don't.
FYI, the Padres are not getting anywhere close to that. The Padres are.
Unfortunately.
Just like all the other San Diego teams.
They're in rebuild.
Oh wait, the Chargers are gone.
They still got Clayton Richard.
I said that the Chargers are rebuilding.
Oh, I thought
Not
you.
the Chargers,
I thought you
the
meant the
Padres.
Padres. They still got Clayton Richard.
Okay.
Yes, and they also have Eric Hosmer.
McCutcheon graduate too. Anyway.
Thank you for those two of us that are McCutcheon graduates.
Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
you
were we
now.
doing? NL West.
NL West.
I actually had the Dodgers winning that one. I think I pretty much just flipped your picks. I had Dodgers winning and San Fran as the wild card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I do pay attention somewhat.
I'm
He
surprised.
literally wrote it down at the last minute, like, huh, those two teams look good.
He's probably penciling it down during the intro.
I'm actually kind of curious. I want to see if his picks match up with last year's playoff spots, and see if he just copied and pasted.
I did not swear.
Pretty good.
Hold on,
swear
let me
I
look.
didn't
I can tell you.
Playoff gate. So that's what you have. You have the.
He's close.
That's surprising.
The Dodgers won, and Arizona and the Rockies made the playoffs last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Washington and the Cubs also made the playoffs last year.
So you're going with the.
For winning the West, I was going to do the Dodgers, and then the wild card was going to be San Francisco.
So to clarify, he didn't copy. Shocking.
Zach, what do you got, buddy?
I've got the Dodgers winning, because it's just so close. But I almost knew that there could be 3 teams coming out. But if I was to guess and put smart money, I would say San Francisco as a wild card.
Ha!
I'm going. Did you have anything else you wanted to add on to that?
No.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers win. They've got everything that they need to go back. They did lose. They had
Yes.
Puig. They lost Darvish to the Cubs. They got back Matt Kemp, which is more of like a utility player right now. He's not really going to go out there.
I don't know. It just depends on what kind of season
He does have a little bit left in the tank. I don't
Yeah.
think he's washed up, but I think retirement isn't too far away.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
They still got Clayton Kershaw, and I will take talent over a lot of other things for this. And Kershaw is about as close to a shooting. But the weird thing is, that when you get into the playoffs, Kershaw kind of
Inflates.
has, without any disrespect, has the Peyton Manning effect in the playoffs.
Yeah. Peyton has 2 rings.
Out of how many attempts
4.
in the playoffs?
Oh, in the playoffs? I don't know. I lost track. It's a lot.
Way too many.
But Kershaw's an elite player. There's no questioning his skills.
Mm-hmm.
You have Puig, you have Turner, you have Bellinger, you have Taylor. They're deep for talent.
Yeah.
It's just making sure that, I guess, focus maybe would be.
Yeah, where's the focus?
Yeah.
In the
I
playoffs.
like the Dodgers to win that division.
Yeah, the playoffs are irrelevant. We're just talking about getting to them.
I do have a wild card that comes out of that one. I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks.
It depends. I like that pick. It just depends on if Zach Greinke can stay healthy.
I mean, they got Greinke, they got Schmitty. They had JD Martinez, but he's now wearing a Boston Red Sox uniform, and I'm very happy.
I'm sure he winks off to that every night.
Wink away, wink away.
But I do think that the Diamondbacks have the roster and the talent to get into the playoffs, maybe make a run.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough division to climb out of if they can get out of it. and into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're a sleeper for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like the pick, and I feel confident saying that.
I do feel like the NL West. Yeah, West. Sorry.
That was AL, didn't you?
No. The NL West.
He
is
thought it was the
probably
NL Central.
It's probably
The NFC South.
no, the NL West. I would say is probably one of the toughest divisions in baseball.
I would say right there
It's-
with the Central.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get a winner out of that for a division leader.
I think I just realized why.
Do you have on there, Colin, how many games separated the winner last year from the wild card?
I do.
Because I'm kind of curious what that was from last year.
The Dodgers won 104 games.
Mhm.
The first wild card spot was 93 games, 93 wins. They actually had more wins than the Cubs, who had 92.
So they're what, 9 out from, or 10,
They
10 out?
were 11 games.
11 games.
There were
I
11
can't- I
games.
can't math right now. So 11.
They were 11 games.
11 games.
And then and Colorado made it in as well, and they were 17 games behind. But they had 87 wins. They were 1 game ahead of Milwaukee for that spot. All right, Central, obviously, I had the Cubs. Let's be real. The Cubs are kind of a slow start. We played against a high school team and still split.
They did get off to a slow start last year and then caught on later.
Yeah. I think, we had the first home run of the season, period.
Well, first
The
pitch.
first pitch of the season for any team was a home run
One
by
of,
the Cubs.
one of 4 players, I think, to do that in history.
I'd have to look it up.
It's a very low number.
It's
It's
very
rare.
It's rarer than perfect games.
Yes.
But it was very impressive. I wasn't expecting it, and I just looked and was like, oh,
1-0.
cool. Went back then. But yeah, I think they'll take it. My sleeper pick here, and I think they're going to make the playoffs because they got off to a really hot start this year already, and I think they're going to be very good for the entire season, is Milwaukee.
That's what I was thinking. Good.
Milwaukee's 3-0. They're playing very well. The Central is not as strong as it was a couple years ago. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to keep up.
No.
St. Louis has been meh.
Hit
They
and
didn't make the
miss,
play
yeah.
last year. They weren't very good. They're not very good, I don't think, this year. And let's be realistic, Cincinnati hasn't been relevant in about 5 years. So,
Let's go a little bit longer. Let's say in the last decade.
yeah.
Last
they
time I
haven't-
remember them being relevant was Barry Larkin
Yeah,
Yeah.
way back when.
and King Griffey Senior.
You know it's bad if you were relevant when Steven watched.
But yeah, I don't think Cincinnati's going to be relevant in that. I think they're going to be freebie wins for the rest of the the-
Central.
the rest of the division.
But we kind of assumed that with the Marlins, and they snuck and got 2 games, which I don't think the Marlins are going to win maybe more than
50.
50,
They will
45, 50, somewhere.
They will
in that
have
range.
a gentleman's 40, I think. I don't think they do much better than that. It's
Gentlemen.
just gentleman's 40.
I could see
really don't
I
think
could see
they-
Cincinnati maybe falling in like the 50 group as well.
Yeah,
It
they-
could be.
Maybe
Just,
a
yeah.
little bit over 50.
Well, and they don't have the talent like they used to have.
Well, they would be going down because they only had 68 last year. So.
Pokey.
Actually,
no,
the wor-
he's gone. He's been
I
gone.
said Ian Pokey with Barry Larkin, Pokey Reese.
Oh yeah. Indianapolis Indians.
Back in the silver age for Steven.
yeah, Detroit and San Francisco were the worst teams last year at 64 wins, so they might probably edge out to 50 or 60.
So you're going to go Cubs win the division?
Cubs win, Milwaukee's
Brewers-
or the division or the wild card. Ghosts.
Oh, wise one.
Huh?
Oh, wise one.
How's
pick-
your
I'll
how's
pick-
your Braves doing with their Chipper Jones? Oh, that's right. He's been
He
retired.
retired.
He's been retired for 20 years.
Yeah, we miss him. Anyway, I probably NL be the NL Central. Excuse me. I'm gonna go with Cubs as well.
Sure it wasn't West.
I'm sure. Dick.
Just double check those notes.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with Cubs. I know they've lost some players, but they also have one of the highest cap spaces that they can easily sign others.
There's no cap space, Steven. It's baseball.
Net worth.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. I saw a
Oh,
statistic.
God.
We have the 4th highest payroll.
Thank you.
Payroll. There you
in
go.
baseball.
No, it's not.
That's too good. We're talking baseball more.
It's just like, yeah, they have the most cap space. We don't have cap. Baseball doesn't have. Here's the thing.
They have
Baseball
cap
should
space.
have cap space, but
Yes.
baseball does not, and baseball refuses to because the players all. That's the reason they went on strike back in the '90s was because they had.
I,
because of the
Give
cap.
it time with the deal that happened with Kirk Cousins. and I think you're going to see more players want guarantees.
Oh, duh. But
I think that'll change, but that'll be for.
okay, I'm sorry. Payroll for you baseball fans. I apologize.
Those people that know what they're talking about.
fans. they have what, like 185 million or
A lot.
No, we can't sign anybody because we have the 4th highest payroll period
Yeah, I
in
got
baseball.
So I saw a statistic.
He wants to win.
But yeah, we wants to win.
But anyway, I'm picking Cubs.
Do you have a wild card coming out of that one or no?
No,
Okay.
He's already took his 2 wild cards.
I did.
Already? Oh, that's
He
right.
said
One of the
5.
Marlins. That's right.
He said
That's right, 'cause
5.
he's
Zachy, what do you got?
ridiculous.
I've got the Cubs winning, of course. The only thing that I'm very concerned about right now in Chicago, for the love of God, please get some bullpen help. We are going to need bullpen help.
Except for that one guy. One guy who pitched the other night.
Well,
That man
but
needs to be a
you
starter.
know what I'm
He's brilliant.
saying. When we get to the middle of the season or the end of the season, bullpen did not help us out at all in the playoffs.
No,
No. We got rickrolled.
You were embarrassed by the
Yes,
Dodgers.
because our bullpen fucking sucks.
Still can't.
But to be fair, I mean, going out there and you have somebody the quality of Jansen on the Dodgers going out there and just putting on a clinic
Right.
to finish games. The Cubs didn't have that. The Cubs didn't, like you said, they didn't have the depth.
We don't have that. We need that desperately, and I hope that doesn't bite us.
But it's not to say that they couldn't come onto this later.
Oh well, yeah. If
Well, this is way too early. This could all change.
This is way.
Trade deadline's like 4 months away.
Who knows?
Yeah.
3 months from now, this might be the only 2 damn games they've lost until then. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be shocking. And I would probably cry tears of joy.
There'd be no living with the 2 of you if that were.
Yeah.
Specifically me.
Well, yeah. But no, I have one wild card coming out like Colin. I think Milwaukee comes out as a wild card. I would not be surprised and wouldn't put it past St. Louis having something to say about it. Depending if they get hot. If they get hot, Milwaukee, good luck.
As a Cubs fan, I hope they continue to suck.
I do, of course, I do too. But I'm saying I'm being realistic here.
Oh yeah.
If they get hot and they get real hot, real good, real quick, I wouldn't put it past St. Louis.
Yeah. They've been there before.
Yeah.
Way too many times. It's about time they sit down and be in last place.
So your pick was Cubs win, and
Yeah.
then maybe
Milwaukee.
you flip a coin between St.
Yeah,
Louis. Okay.
right.
I had a very similar dilemma to Zach. I think you could make a case for any of the 3 teams.
Yep.
I do have a wild card coming out of this as well.
Mhm.
I'm going to say the Cubs do win the division.
Look at I am in shock.
Like I said, I'm not a Cubs fan, but I'm not blind to they have a quality team and they can win baseball games. The issue may come later in the season, like has been stated. Can the pitching show up? Can the pitching get you out of tight situations? Can the pitching put games away? We all know they can hit.
Yeah.
The Cubs can hit on any pitcher in the National Baseball.
Except for whoever they
In
played
the
today.
National Baseball.
Major League
Major
Baseball.
League. Major League.
Now who's the one who doesn't have terminology correct?
At least he knows there's not a
Hashtag
fucking hat.
Shut up!
They can hit on anybody in the major leagues.
Right. Oh yeah.
You've got Chris Bryant, you have Schwarber,
Rizzo.
Rizzo, Russell.
Hap.
They're deep.
Yeah.
They can hit. Can they pitch when it matters?
No.
That's the difference. The wild card for me is you flip a coin. I think right now and again this is way too early. I have the Brewers as the wild card right now. I do think it depends on how the season goes. The Brewers very well could take this division.
Yeah.
It's very, very possible. They have the tools to do it.
Mhm.
They've got really good pitching.
do
They have
bats.
a hitter-friendly ballpark,
Yeah, they do.
It's indoors.
which is not normally good for pitching. But
Yeah.
if Thames can do what he did last year, he came off out of the blue and was knocking off homers like they were just nothing.
Right.
So I like where the Brewers are at. I like where the Cubs are at. The Cardinals have a very good team, and they made some offseason moves to help.
Shore up things.
So I mean, they kind of did what they needed. I would say Cubs, and then maybe 1A would be the Brewers.
1, 2, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I understand.
But out of those, who has the best? Who is the top dog out of all those that we picked for the winners?
Who's gonna make it to the World Series?
Well, that's the second part of the question. Who is going to have the best record out of the division winners and wild cards from your picks? We'll go around.
Oh, as just as the NL itself.
Yeah.
Like who's going to be the number 1 overall seed?
Yeah. Who do you think is going to have the most wins? And then who will go to the World Series?
I think Washington's gonna have the most wins, but I don't think they're going to go all the way. I think it'll be I think the Cubs will do it. All they have to do, all the Cubs have to do is shore up their bullpen. If they shore up their bullpen, the Cubs are going to be damn near unbeatable because they can hit fucking on anybody, and it's ridiculous. I mean, you hit the first damn pitch of the ball game
Of the
of the season out of the fucking park.
Right.
They are so damn good batting. Today was an anomaly. I don't think this is going to be a regular thing.
It does happen. It does
A
happen.
dead clock's right twice a day.
It'll happen that you'll have a really bad team beat a good team. It just happens from time to time.
So you think the Cubs are going to go back to the World
I
Series?
think they'll go back to the World Series. I don't know if they'll win it, but I think they'll go back to the World Series.
I think the overall best record will probably be the Dodgers again.
I was really hoping you said the Marlins.
He has them as a wild card. He can't pick them.
Yeah. But I do think the Cubs get back though out of the.
I was hoping he'd say the most for that one.
So you got Cubs most wins, Cubs go to the World Series.
No. I got Dodgers.
Dodgers
most wins.
Cubs
Cubs
World
get the World Series. So essentially, the Dodgers would be the 1 seed. Cubs would be the 2 seed.
I want to go with Colin and say Washington, but I could also see San Francisco or LA having that moniker of being the number 1 seed. But to make it clarify, I'm going to say Washington, most wins.
And this is all assuming health is
Right.
Right.
generous.
Of course.
But I'm with Colin as long as the Cubs can get that bullpen healthy, keep them healthy, and find the help they need, they'll go back to the World Series.
That's all they need. That's all they need.
I'm going to say Washington for both.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Washington has the most wins. I'm going to say Washington ends up in the World Series. I know they've had some playoff woes in the past, to put it lightly. I do see the Cubs being a very tough opponent in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think there will be a point in the season where the Cubs do catch fire and they do go on a huge winning streak.
Well, and to be fair, it seems like it doesn't matter what happens in the first half of the season.
It's all about
It
the
matters the second.
Yeah.
So if you catch fire in the second, that's when you're getting your rhythm going. I guess the way I see it is like in the first month or two, it really doesn't matter because you're starting to get.
You're feeling out and seeing what pieces you have.
Yeah,
Unless
and there's no chemistry and things like that. But once you get in that second half, it's like okay, we've been like how long is the season? Like, I know that, but how many months? April to October.
Yeah.
April to October, is that right?
Yeah.
So I know it's called the Hunt for October.
I'm for October.
Yeah,
It ends the first week of October.
it's about 6 months long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about 3 months in, you know who's good, you know who's bad, you know who you need to get rid of, you know who you need to acquire, and things of that nature. But like,
And again, some of these could change on trades.
of
too.
course. But like, if you catch fire in the second half, you're more deadly in the second half because you have more momentum going to the playoffs.
Right.
It's better to be hot in the second half.
So-
Well, what was it like 2-3 years ago? The Angels had like 100+ wins and they had like a 20-game lead on their division, something like that.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I
This year-
mean,
that was
I
the
know
year
this
they
was
won
a
the World
while.
Series.
This was like a while, not since I'd seen the game, but it was.
We know.
It
But,
was
you know.
when they won the World Series that year.
Yeah.
So, to wrap up the NL.
Wait, you didn't pick your people.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
He won Washington.
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 Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you've got Cubs going to the World Series. You have
Cubs.
Cubs going to the World Series.
Cubs go to the World
World
Series.
Series. I have the Washington Nationals.
Nationals.
There.
Fair enough.
So now we're going
Yeah.
to the American League.
We're gonna go west.
Okay.
We're gonna start west and work our way.
Holy
east.
shit, that's a.
Well, I want to do that because it's the same thing with the Cubs in the Central.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
gotta,
okay, I got you.
We gotta keep Captain
Fair
over
enough.
there.
Fair enough.
The West is the most difficult, but I'm honest to God, it's gotta be Houston. It's the only team. It's the automatic pick.
I can see 3 teams possibly making a
Didn't
push.
Altuve just sign an extension?
He finally got paid.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
earned every damn dime he
Well, because
got.
I saw a story to where it was like he was like a walk-on, and then he got paid like $15 million, and now he's getting like $150 million or something
He
like
went
that.
through the steps to get, and he's earned every bit of
Right,
success.
right. I'm not
that he
saying
has.
he hasn't earned it,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying though is like I just want to make sure I was right on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Houston easily.
Do you have a wild card out of that?
No. I do not.
I picked Houston as well. My wild card is actually the Angels.
That's actually not a bad pick.
Yeah.
That's really not a bad pick.
I know. From when, and I'm not used to saying that because from when I grew up on it, Houston was in the NL,
Yeah, the
and
Central.
they just recently went to the AL.
It happens.
Yeah, no, it does. But Angels still have a good powerhouse lineup. They still have Albert Pujols.
Yes.
Pujols is still there. Okay, cool.
DH.
Just making sure. And they also have the DH, which helps the pitchers stay healthy. That's why I feel like the American League has the advantage over the National League.
That's always been a big debate.
Because the National League has the pitchers hit, and the American League, they don't.
I prefer designated
And-
hitters.
As do I.
Yeah.
But that's also where you get people like, Mark McGuire, move on, people who have injuries that can hit the ball far and don't need to run fast. Because usually what they'll do is they'll have them hit to get on base and then have a pinch runner
Yeah.
run for them.
You knew what that was. I'm so proud of you.
I do know some baseball, I just don't know what's going on now. That,
But you didn't? Did you have a wild card out of that?
yeah, Angels.
Okay.
Angels. Los Angeles.
I've got Houston winning, of course, but I can see this being again either way. I mean, LA could win this, Houston could win this. Seattle's not bad. They've actually gotten a whole lot better.
I think Big Miss Ichiro.
He's still there.
He just came back.
Oh, okay. I was going to
He's
say,
still
he
there.
was
Also,
a Yankee.
The Pacers won today.
But anyway, like I don't know. I think the top. This is a really tough division because there's a lot of teams. Oakland could be still, come out because when Lester was still over in Oakland, they were this close to getting themselves to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They just needed to win a game. This is a tough. I mean, I think Houston comes out, but I think either LA or Seattle comes out as a wild card, and I'm going to go with the Angels coming out as a wild card.
They're sticking out with me.
I think so. I think that they've got a pretty good team.
Go Scooter.
I'm going to pick Houston.
Yep.
Clean sweep. It's Houston's to lose.
Yeah.
You're going to have them fall off a cliff
Mm-hmm.
for something to happen.
Especially after the year they had last year.
Fantastic year.
They were so damn good.
It was good to see him win.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
I was happy with
after what happened with the hurricane,
Yeah.
they absolutely. It was similar to the Saints winning the Super Bowl. They needed something,
Mm-hmm.
and that was what they got. They weren't going to get it in football because the Texans suck. So
Right.
they
Well,
needed it
until
somewhere.
Watson went down.
Actually, yeah, I take that back. They were really good until Watson went down. And the fucking shit hit the.
But I'm gonna take Houston. I think it's their division to lose. Call me crazy. I kind of am in love with the chances that the Rangers have.
Interesting.
I'm not picking them as a wild card, but it's one of those teams I wouldn't be surprised if they turn out and got hot.
Yeah, because
They'd make some
they've had a
noise.
slow start. They're 1-2, so they had kind of a slow start.
I just don't feel confident enough saying that they're going to be a wild card team. I do like them to maybe spoiler a couple of games for some games that they may not be favored to win in. But I have some faith that they could actually surprise people. But gonna go with Houston for that one.
Stop it. Foreplay later.
Whoa.
So Central next.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
So here's the thing. I have Cleveland coming out of it. They're 1-1 right now. I will not believe in the White Sox until they. I'm sorry. I know that somebody in this room. I know somebody in this room is a White Sox fan,
My wife is a huge White Sox fan.
and she's sitting back there waiting for everybody to say.
The reason I got into watching baseball is because of my wife.
They've been terrible for what? 2 years now? 3 years? No, it's not a root thing. Listen.
Longer than
No
that.
offense to Jess, but the White Sox have been bad for 2 years straight,
Longer than that.
and I don't have faith until they show. Yes, you can get off to a hot start. Any team can.
Well, no
It
offense,
doesn't
but
mean
they're-
that they're gonna stay.
They got off to a pretty fucking hot
They're
start.
2-0. Yes, I know what they did. They've done really well, but
Well, here's the
That doesn't
thing.
mean anything. We
Wait,
just
wait,
said
wait.
the Cubs are 2-2, and they could get on a roll. People can
Hang
slow
on.
down.
The best thing about the White Sox is now a Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris
that
Sale
was
was a
stupid.
White Sox.
So
Yeah.
you're taking the Indians with no wild card out of this?
I really hate to do this, but I could see the White Sox being a wild card.
I am glad this is recorded. Colin is starting to smoke.
I don't want them to make the playoffs because
Well, of course you don't. 'Cause
God, I hate the White
Crosstown
Sox.
Showdown.
But I hate them second only to the Cardinals. But I can see the White Sox making the playoffs. But they're going to be in a fight with one of the teams in the East. For the last round of
I'm with
spot.
you. Yeah.
I think 3 teams come out of the East. I think White Sox could.
AL, I'm gonna go Cleveland. No wild card, just Cleveland's getting really hot. They've been really hot the past couple of years.
Yep.
You know, even though they
So
lost
that's
to,
Cubs.
even though they lost to the Cubs 2 years ago, they're still hot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
They won't win the World Series. because
No.
Cleveland.
Are you
won't.
trying to talk yourself into this pit?
It feels like
What?
you are.
Steve is like, oh God, it could be the Indians, maybe.
well, I mean, no, I mean
It is Cleveland. Cleveland
it is
doesn't have that
Cleveland.
much luck
Yeah,
anywhere.
but I mean,
Once LeBron leaves and they become irrelevant again.
I guess I just feel like that division's really weak right now. You know,
I wouldn't say that.
So here's the thing. In that division, there's Kansas City, who has been pretty good. I don't think they were very good last year, but they've been
No.
good in the
2
past.
years ago they were.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, thank
They
you.
won the World Series 3 years ago, I believe.
Against the Rockies.
Detroit's been okay, but
All
the
they have
Tigers
is-
have been
all
kind
they
of.
have is Cabrera.
Yeah, the Tigers have been mad at best.
Wait, do they have
Uh,
Verlander still or no?
No, he went to
No,
Houston.
Verlander went to Houston.
He went to Houston.
That's why Houston was so damn good last year. You got Cleveland, who has been basically the powerhouse of that division for three years now. You got Minnesota, who are actually off to a
they're
pretty
good.
good
Do
start.
not sleep on Minnesota.
And they would
Don't
be
sleep
another
on
one that I would say could potentially enter into
Yeah.
this race.
Yeah.
And then the White Sox, who are
And Jessica's giving us the stink eye.
Well, she's giving him the same.
So,
she's grinning over
Zach.
there. She knows.
so AL Central, I do have Cleveland winning. I don't have anybody else coming out. I mean, it could be very close. I agree. Minnesota and Chicago. I hate to say that. God, I hate to say that.
Are you guys copying each other's answers here?
No. But
Sounds like it.
they could be wild cards. Maybe they
He's
could
sending me
they could
texts.
they could definitely spoil somebody's hopes and dreams, like maybe the Yankees.
Yeah.
Please, God.
But I don't think Chicago has the pitching staff anymore, and Minnesota is getting closer, but they're not there. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
I feel like the White Sox are similar to the Cubs in that they really need a better pitching staff.
Yeah.
They'd be bad.
Do you have a wild card out of this?
No wild cards coming out of it. Just spoilers, maybe.
I'm going to take Cleveland to win the division.
Your wife's gonna hit you.
She's going to love me here in a second. She will love me for this. I have the White Sox as wild card. Now,
Oh God.
now
Oh, no.
let me explain as to why I have them. It's not because my wife
Bullshit.
held a knife to my throat and
Bullshit.
threatened me with our marriage to pick the White Sox.
Bullshit.
Throw a sign if you're being threatened right now. She can't see.
Last couple of years, I think it would be safe to say the White Sox were getting a little bit long in the tooth
Oh,
with
God,
their
yes.
players. They had a huge fire sale. They had the huge issue with Sale tearing up his jersey. He refused to play that night. Was the story that was in the article for the paper.
That's why they got rid of him.
Let's put it this way: the White Sox.
You don't have a
last
problem
year-
putting on a Boston Red Sox jersey.
The White Sox last year were 67 and 95, so they were one of the worst records in baseball.
But
Just
they land one of the top prospects in all of baseball for the Chris Sale trade.
That's
And
true.
he started to show signs or flashes of being a really good baseball player.
right.
They went with the youth movement. They cleaned out.
That's what the Cubs did.
They cleaned out Cabrera. They cleaned out Quintana. They cleaned out. Oh God, there was some more. There was
Chris
some,
Sale.
Chris Sale. Got Todd Frazier. Cleaned them all out, but they kept Abreu. Abreu's a really good first baseman. I think he's an elite player.
Very well could be.
Jessie's got the biggest, like, giggly grin on her face over there for
But I
whatever
do
reason.
believe, do not sleep on the Chicago White Sox. I do fully believe that they can get into a wild card. And that's the thing. Once you get into the wild card situation, you're in. You can relax. It's kind of a
A
double.
little.
A little. It's kind of a double-edged sword. They're really young players. I really like Tim Anderson. Great shortstop. He did open up with 2 home runs opening day.
Yeah, somebody dropped
So
3 home
basically,
runs.
what we're all kind of saying is we're all picking Cleveland, and then you're the only one who has the wild card being Chicago.
I
Who's in the
honestly,
playoffs.
I do feel comfortable putting the White Sox as a wild card.
Somebody dropped 3 home runs on opening
That was
day.
Matt Davidson.
That's
I
right.
believe. Matt Davidson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who does, I remember, who does he play for? I
The
lost
White
track.
Sox.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
who. That's
The
what I
only
thought.
the only thing I have to say for the White Sox is that I don't agree with what they did because Gordon Beckham could have been the best shortstop in this area,
But
the
maybe he didn't
Midwest.
fit what they were doing.
Well, maybe, but I'm just saying I don't know if I would have
What, not
given.
winning?
I would have given up on him as quick.
You said lemon.
I'm just
She
saying,
can kill you.
the thing with the youth movement with the White Sox is, yes, it's nice. They're going to be a little bit quicker out there in the field, but experience does become.
I
A
will
factor.
say, hang on. I will say this though. That is actually the one thing in baseball that helps is if you are young, you do a lot better. Shut up.
It's literally a copy and paste of what the Cubs did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they won a World Series with it.
And
It's exactly what they did. They had the best farm team in baseball, and they went and won a World Series. So I'm not sleeping on the fact that the White Sox could make the playoffs. And here in another, they're not going to win the World Series.
I'm not
But
picking them to go to the World Series,
they're-
but I'm saying they have the tools to get into the playoffs.
They unfortunately could be a World Series contender in the next,
couple of years.
I'd say 2 years. I don't think they'll make it next. They'll make the playoffs next year. They'll
So
probably.
kind of they'll do what they did in like 2006.
Oh,
It'll be
Adam
exactly
Eaton
what the
was
Cubs. It'll be exactly what the Cubs did. What
Okay.
they'll be a playoff contender. Then the next year they'll be a major World Series contender, but they won't make
Because
it.
the thing
They'll
is-
just short, and then the next year they'll.
I
be
think
World
depending
Series
on how they finish this season, I don't know the crop of free agents coming up.
Yeah.
But if they end up being maybe a series out from making the World Series, or if they end up being like make it to the second round and then get knocked out,
Yeah.
they may be able to land a big name player, maybe that one piece that they need to go over the hump.
Yeah.
I think it's very possible that the White Sox are a wild card. But that's my pick.
So now we're into the AL East.
We're in the AL East.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I
baby.
legitimately have 3 teams coming out of here.
I do too.
You could make the case.
I have 3.
I'm guessing this is where your wild cards are at.
These are where my wild cards are at.
Your other one was.
I don't have a wild card.
Oh,
I've
so
not,
you,
I've not
it's not
listed a
picked.
wild.
okay, never mind. Yeah,
I've
you're
not
right.
picked a wild card. I think this will be a 3 wild card. Okay, Toronto is not going to win the division, but they will be a wild card. Toronto is. They always just seem like they just need 1 or 2 things. They had that one year where they were destroying everybody in the AL East, and then fell the fuck off a cliff the last month of the season and
Yeah.
gave up, I think, what, a 12-game lead,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and didn't even win the division. I think they still made the playoffs, but they didn't even win the division. They,
Was it here in Tampa?
I think so.
Okay.
They're always, you can never sleep on Toronto for whatever fucking reason. They always seem to be there. So I think they're going to be the ones that are scrapping with the White Sox, possibly the Twins, for that wild card spot. I think they will make it. I think the Yankees are going to get the other wild card spot. That's not even going to be a fucking contest. They're going to. It's literally going to be Boston here, Yankees right behind them, and then a fucking drop off to the rest of the 3 teams. I think those are the 2 teams that are going to be competing for the championship.
So
Depending
who
on
do you,
how
who do
things-
you have winning though?
Boston.
Bless you.
I think it'll be Boston and Chicago in the World Series. You're welcome, buddy. And then the Cubs win.
You were good. I'm in the same boat with Colin. Basically, Boston and New York being on each other's tails.
Yep. Easy one.
Boston, has been really good the past few years, but Yankees made a lot of moves. Well, 1.5 moves.
Oh, I'm gonna get to that.
Daddy
we
will
already-
get to that.
But I mean, with
boy.
Aaron Judge and then Stanton.
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 Okay.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, Giancarlo
It used to be
Stanton.
known as Mike Stanton. But
Yeah.
The
but
two
anyway.
best home run hitters are both on the same fucking team.
Yep.
In a hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yep. But I will go ahead and say I will say Boston will win the division. I will say New York will be the wild card, but I think they will be the high wild card.
It might be a game. Or
Yeah,
a half
like
game that
yeah,
separates.
like I mean, if it's like it'll basically be like one of the other ones doing it. But I still say Boston will be the top one. New York will be the wild card.
Okay, so in the East, I can remember back when the Red Sox made it as a wild card in the World Series. I can remember that year. It was in 04.
They lost it. No, they won.
They won.
They won.
They won as a wild
They
card.
won. They won. Because it was on an episode of
Lost.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm a Red Sox fan. I hate the fucking Yankees. I hate them.
Everybody hates the Yankees except for the Yankees.
But here's where I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm gonna put New York as the winner of the division, simply because in 04 when the Red Sox won, they won the division, but when it came to the pennant race, the pennant games, Boston swept them. I don't know with New York what they have pitching wise. I know what they have bat wise.
They got Chapman
They
back.
have, they've got good pitchers.
They
Yes.
got Chapman back.
So
Oh boy,
It
almost
is-
cost the Cubs a World
it is
Series.
this close between Boston and New York, and I'm gonna go with the Yankees, just marginally better than the Red Sox. But I have the Red Sox coming out of the playoffs as a World Series contender. But I also think the Blue Jays could have something to say about that.
I feel like he has a girl he's talking to who's a Yankees fan, and that's where this is all coming from. He would say Boston if.
No, I'm just saying.
We're just bullshit.
I'm just trying. I'm going back to 04, the year that really helped me get off the bandwagon with the New York area. I can see Boston doing a whole lot better if they're coming in as a wild card, because this is going to be a dogfight. Like, this is legitimately going to come down to percentage points and who won the regular season record against Boston and New York. I really believe that.
We're very close.
They are too close to call. I would much rather see Boston as coming out of the wild card in winning than having them win in a dogfight. They're going to be exhausted, and it's going to be a tough playoff season for them.
Go Boston.
I love me some Boston Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. We all know.
I do too.
If we can't tell right here.
Our biggest issue last year, and it was made extremely well known and under the bright lights, our pitching. That was a huge factor. And we dealt with injuries all year. That's not an excuse, it's part of the game. You need to find somebody else to fill in. We have Chris Sale. We have Pomeranz, Marcelo, Rodriguez, Price, Velasquez, who I thought did very well today. I believe he's going back to the minors or AAA after today. But good outing. They have Mookie Betts, Bogarts, Martinez, to name a few, and Benintendi. I am picking the Yankees to win the division.
Weird. Alright.
I think there will be games where it will look like the Red Sox have everything pieced together. The Red Sox kind of have like this, we'll take a step forward, take a step back.
I'm not thinking about that. Just keep going.
I like what the Yankees have with Stanton, what they have with Judge, what they have with Didi, Sanchez. They're loaded too. I think if everybody stays healthy, and this is a big if, it will be these two teams possibly deciding who goes to win the series.
Mm-hmm. I can agree to that.
Oh, I think everybody does.
And like I said, the difference between the two is it's marginal. It's as close as you can get to there not being one.
Yeah, and it really is going to depend on who wins the series in the regular season.
I think there's going to be games for the Red Sox that it looks really promising, and then they're going to come out and falter, and I think that will end up costing them the division. I think the Yankees are going to win the division. It might be by a coin flip. Who knows? It's going to be a very close call. But the Yankees, I love Boston. I'm not going to discount what they have there. No matter how they got Stanton.
I do like Big Good Father eventually again.
They have an elite team. They have pretty good pitching. I don't know if I would say they've got top 5 best pitching staff. I wouldn't go that far.
They haven't had the best pitching since like 97, 98.
But they're good. And they can get hot. And having Judge and Stanton getting hot,
It's not a good thing.
I can tell you right now, they're going to be one of those teams you're not going to play. Especially when it comes October. Again, if health holds up. But when you get to the playoffs, I'm going to piggyback off what he said. I think Boston's going to get them in the playoffs.
Okay, so to piggyback off what you're kind of talking about,
Let's
and
do
to
all this
kinda-
piggybacking here.
well, you know, hey, who would you say, too early pick, of course, what would you say would be the World Series right now, if you had to pick it?
If we're going off the games that have already been played right now,
Well, I mean, like, you picked your division winners, why not pick the World Series? Even though it's way too early, but still.
I'm honestly going to put Boston in the World Series. And this
Versus who?
the Nationals.
Okay.
Like I said, I said this earlier. I mean, it might be a homer pick for me. This isn't anything like against the Yankees, like talent-wise. I think this very well could be 7 games. I do not see them sweeping one another. They're too good to be swept by one another. And this is really good for baseball too. When you have
Story. You have a
story
storyline.
and teams playing at this high of level, I'm very excited to see how this season unfolds because I think it's very bright for both the Yankees and both the Red Sox.
That's what's wrong with basketball right now.
Yeah.
It's
There's
literally
no,
two teams.
there's no parity.
Too
No.
many super teams.
It's stupid.
But as much as it pains me, I will pick the Red Sox to go to the World Series. I'm going to pick the Washington Nationals to win the World Series.
Alright.
Zach, what say you?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Chicago and Boston, and I don't. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna say it's gonna go. It'll probably go 7, and then Chicago wins in 7.
I'm gonna go Chicago, New York. Chicago and the Yankees.
That made me so angry. Especially if we lost.
And then I'm gonna probably pick the Yankees.
Oh God, you're off the podcast.
There's a
How's
lot.
Boston Cubs win?
There's a lot of good teams, but I think the big X factor for the Red Sox right now is eventually getting Benintendi back into where he was last year, and I think he'll make good strides. They've got Devers. I mean, the Red Sox have a lot of good
And
pieces.
let's not sleep on Dustin Pedroia at second base.
I like it. The big thing last year, I mean, they've got just as much talent as anybody else. But I do have some concerns. I think there's going to be games that we should win that we're not going to, and it'll be very frustrating. And I think those will be scenarios that cost us the.
You mean like Cubs versus Marlins?
Now, I do think,
Should have won 4.
I will say this. I think if Boston ends up with home field, Boston could win the World Series.
Yeah, but it didn't affect the Cubs. Cleveland.
But see how
Cleveland had the home field advantage and Cubs stole them.
Yeah, they stole the World Series from them. It was in 7 too.
Yep, it was.
But I
it
will
was
say
a
this.
hell of a game 7 too.
The Cubs did not have the Green Monster.
That's true.
And that
Cleveland doesn't either.
that is an advantage.
Yeah.
If you have to play one more game against the Monster,
But here's the problem with the Monster.
Stand and Judge can put the ball over it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
Hold on, but let's not.
It's just a target for them.
Yeah. But
All right.
if you're gonna,
I can hit it
look
farther.
at, if you're gonna look at the Chicago hitters, if they have to come, Schwarber, Rizzo, Bryant, Hap, they're gonna look at the Green Monster and be like, you see that little sign right there? I'm gonna try to put that son of a bitch through that sign. That's what they're gonna wind up doing.
It's gonna be a
I
fucking
think
hitting contest.
if I was a Boston fan, I'm hoping you don't get it because the
You don't
wall.
want them to have home field?
Here's the thing: That wall is going to be fucking target practice for every player who's going to be playing in Boston.
That Monsters won a few of those matchups.
Well, don't get me wrong, they have, but you put some of the big boys like we were saying with the Yankees and with the Cubs and with some of the other players. It's a disadvantage too because let's say you got some fast people like Addison Russell, gets that damn wall, starts careening all over the goddamn place. That motherfucker can run. That's triple city. I mean,
I'm not saying that would not result in a triple, but that may be a home run saving.
It could be, but I'm just saying with the big boys.
To piggyback off of again what Belichick has said.
What is this fucking piggybacking today? Jesus,
we're gonna get piggybacks after the podcast.
Yeah, I hope not. It's fucking.
It's a blizzard out there.
Yeah.
But it's like what Bill Belichick said when you get to like the Super Bowl, you don't know what play it's going to be in the Super Bowl that wins you or loses the game, and that could be the case in the World Series. You don't know what play or where the ball is going to bounce off of that could win or lose you the game.
Right.
That's true.
To piggyback off that, I think this is
I knew he was going to say something about that.
Anyway,
but I do want to go back and discuss one quick thing on the Minnesota topic in
the Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree that they have a lot of talent and they very well could make a run.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that surprised.
Shout out to Kyle Gibson, by the way, Indiana boy.
If they got in.
IU?
No, he actually went to where my dad went to high school. He went to Greenfield Central, and he actually had a no-hitter through 7 1/3 innings last night. So big shout out to Kyle.
Did you go to college or no?
No, he didn't go. He went straight to the minor leagues.
Okay.
Again, I think this will be an exciting year for baseball.
IU.
Oh yeah.
It'll be really good for the league.
You two done flirting over there?
Would you shut the fuck?
Oh no!
No.
No.
Well, I think we're at a good stopping point. For
Oh
this.
hell yes. Steven's knocking hats off, so I gotta go punch him in the face later.
Well, guys, for this is the first episode. We're gonna be doing the second one later today. But for Scott,
Zach.
Steven.
Colin.
this has been us at the Four Corners Podcast, and we will see you next time. Peace out.
Deuces. Okay, that was fun.
How long did
I
that go?
enjoyed that one.